One for you, Paul.
Yeah, I saw that. Too bad I don't have a 6.5.
Too bad you probably never will either.
Nope.
I know the bullet diameter is 264, but
Can you hear me now?
what?
We got
Yes.
you.
No, I had it muted. So, hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Patriot Patch Company. That was fun. So I'm still trying. I didn't realize that I'd switched Macs since we did this last call-in, and so I'm working on getting all the little links and stuff set up. So, yeah, so that's the delay, and I had myself muted while I was watching the YouTube video that I used to set up last time. So, because it was back in May, and I'm old, and the memory's fuzzy, and sometimes I'm just generally a dumbass too. So.
He just suffers like most of us here with some timers.
Yeah, or CRS. Can't remember shit. So, and you know what? I haven't even drank anything today. So,
That's why it isn't working.
no. Fortunately, my father-in-law is in final stages of dementia, so no drinking because may have to leave and drive. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that this time of
thank you.
year, especially.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting really tired of worrying about people dying at around friggin' holidays. It's really,
Yeah.
really old. So, considering this is the third or fourth year now in a row.
Yes.
So
prayers, Mike.
Thanks. Yeah. So he was down to 8 respirations a minute on Sunday, and then he made a recovery yesterday. And because he's a veteran, and because Congress doesn't give a fuck about veterans, he is at a Grace Hospice right now, but they want to move him to a different facility because, God forbid Congress actually bothers to take care of veterans in this friggin' country. It's lucky I don't know any congressmen personally, because I would kick them all and right in the friggin' nuts right now. Because if you know a veteran, everybody should call their Congress critters and tell them to fix the frickin' VA health system, because it is absolute bullshit. In case you didn't know, I've known about it, that it's crap for years, and I've been talking to Congress critters, but it's still not getting done. And let's put it this way: Obamacare actually screwed the veterans worse than they were before. So. So those of you who think that it's all cool and great that, once they become a veteran, they're access to all this great health care. No, it's not really all that great, because usually the VA doctors aren't as good as your doctors at other hospitals, because the government pays them less. So you really have to have a heart to do it in the first place. And also the government pays less for the health care. So,
you go into a VA, okay, and you get you try to get an appointment to get looked at.
Oh yeah.
All right, and it could be 6 months to a year. So,
Paul Loud, I wish that was that simple. Unfortunately, it's not. But God, that would be so nice if it was that simple. So sorry for the rant, gang, but yeah, that's that. So,
and I'm surprised because you're near such a good medical school that they don't.
Oh well, we're blessed, because if you go to the VA here in Madison, Wisconsin, you are lucky enough that if the VA can't handle it, they actually are connected to the University of Wisconsin hospitals. So they work well back and forth. Absolutely, totally blessed here. Probably one of the luckiest veteran situations in the country. So if you are a veteran and you do have health issues and you can figure out a way to move to this area of Wisconsin without having to deal with all the schmucks in Madison, that's a great opportunity, because they literally, the University of Wisconsin hospital staff, doctors, everybody works with the VA, and a lot of times if there's surgeries that need to be done, it's actually the UW that's doing it. Multiple reasons. First and foremost, because they're qualified, but second, also they tend to use it as teaching. Also,
Right.
a lot of the residents can do their residency at the VA, so that yeah, absolutely, and you know it's still a VA, so you're still not always. It's still not always the best, but it's a lot better than a lot of the VA hospitals in the country because of that fact. So
Yeah. Try Chicago.
yeah, no,
Try Chicago.
No.
Yeah.
Looks like
So-
we lost Trey.
so Sharenda has no internet and Ray has no internet, so he was on his hotspot. So if he fades in and out, that's what's going on with them. And truth, yeah, I want to clarify, it's not the staff. Absolutely. Truth said, blame the system, not the healthcare staff. Absolutely true. It's not the staff. And when you look at the staff that's at the different VA facilities, honestly, a lot of them, the care and everything is usually really good, but it's not top-notch care because of the differentiating. You're not getting your super. Your surgeons are decent surgeons, not always top of the line surgeons, because
Yeah. It's like, what do you call a doctor that came in last in his class?
yeah, it's kind of like that, and
Yeah.
it's not always that way. And I'm not, I mean, it's still a doctor and that type of thing. And frankly, it's, to be honest, it's still better than, healthcare in most of the third world. But it's kind of shitty because of the fact that these are the people that have signed up to give their lives to defend our country and our freedoms. And this is how we thank them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Congress, those fucking morons get the best healthcare in the world.
Yeah. And guess where they get it at too?
A lot of the,
Bethesda. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, they go to
VA.
Bethesda.
Yeah. Right. And guess who they get? So.
I've been to
Bethesda's
kind of the
Bethesda.
exception. So,
Well,
I've
you
been to
know,
Bethesda.
well, it's
Walter Reed's a pretty good place.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bethesda, Walter Reed, those are the exceptions to the rules. So, but I mean, if you're in, say, Wyoming, where Chris is taking care of people, you're not going to get as good a health care. It's just, so.
Anyway, now that we got an X on for explicit on this show because of the language that I heard
dang
a
right.
while ago.
I have no problem with that. So, if YouTube wants to give us an explicit rating on this show, so be it.
By the way, folks, Mike always gives me trouble because I try not to use that word I'm talking about.
So,
sometimes it needs to be used.
yep. I don't
Argument
use it.
there.
I don't use it on this show much. So my wife just messaged me that he's in a huge amount of pain tonight because they're trying to get him. So they've been using morphine at a Grace, but morphine's a limited use item. You can't, most of the facilities can't give morphine. So they're trying to get him off the morphine so they can get him out of a Grace and get him somewhere else. So instead of actually giving a crap about the patients and taking care of his pain at the end of life, they're trying to make him suffer a bit so they can get him out of there and get a cheaper bill. That's what the insurance company is trying to do right now.
And morphine's
Well-
so cheap.
Well, the thing is, too, you're talking, but you got to blame the bean counter, not the medical staff.
I'm not blaming the staff.
I know
It's
that.
not the
Mike.
staff's
I know
fault.
that.
It's
I'm
the
just-
bean counters.
There you go. And it always comes down to money.
Yep. So.
And the hard part is my youngest daughter is a hospice nurse.
I am grateful for Grace. It's an amazing facility. Unfortunately, this is the fourth family member we've had there. But the staff there is, I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how they do it. Showing up every day, knowing that you're taking care of people that are going to be dying like soon. but somehow you step up and you just give the best care possible. I mean, a Grace in Madison is just ridiculous. Well, technically it's Fitchburg, but Madison, it's just amazing. The care that the staff gives to the patients is beyond amazing. So
There's no way he could have gotten home health care?
no, didn't
Oh,
qualify.
okay. Didn't
So
qualify. Oh, okay.
fall
I'm
risk
sorry.
and everything. So
Yeah. Because my daughter does in-home hospice.
yeah. No, how this all started is 2 weeks ago. He was home. My mother-in-law has just been a saint trying to keep him home as long as possible, and she probably went too long. But
Did she have hospice help?
not really.
No.
No help. So but so what she's been doing is she was taking care of him, and he was still ambulatory and everything. He still had some cognizance, but 2 weeks ago he got up and was walking down the hall like he always did, and all of a sudden, literally just like in the cartoons where the person just goes, he did that.
Stroke?
They don't know, but see, he's DNR, so they wouldn't check anyway. But literally broke all the bones in the left side of his face. And he's been in the ER, and then he went from the ER to a care facility out in Jefferson, and because he was a fall risk and everything, that's why he wound up at a Grace. But now they're trying to get him to a different care and memory care facility, and so they have a whole bunch of stuff they have to do there and trying to get that to happen. So
Yeah, it's a tough gig all the way around.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's actually absurd that we take care of our veterans this way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you tell you the truth, you're just elaborating and you're enumerating the exact reasons why I have never been to the VA.
Mhm.
Scared of them.
Well, you and me
I'd rather
both.
get my health care. Yeah, I'd rather get my health care on the economy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to be able to do that.
Yes,
So
sir.
are you.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
Otherwise it's a uphill road for those guys.
Amen, sir. Amen.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got a call-in show tonight.
Yeah, as soon as I can get this set up. Do you guys
Okay.
hear an echo?
No?
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you hear an echo?
No.
Okay, good.
So, Jim, what did you do this week?
Well, I went to the main exchange, the North Exchange on Fort Bragg. There's Mike's receipt. Yes.
Ooh.
No, it's not a big deal. But I actually went to the gun department, sporting goods department, they call it. But don't forget it. It's now, I said Fort Bragg. I'm mistaken. It's now Fort Liberty. Sorry about the paper rattling. Fort Liberty. They changed the name. Anyway, so I went to Fort Bragg. Oh, shit, I did it again. Fort Liberty's North Exchange. And I bought myself a box of goodies.
Ooh.
Remington Golden Bullet. And believe it or not, guys, the reason why I'm holding up the receipt is because in the exchange, we don't pay taxes. We pay MSRP a lot of times, but we don't pay taxes. The price for the 100 rounds of Remington Golden Bullet, I think this is, I can't find it. How many grain bullet is this?
They're 40 grainers, yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. 40 grains. Anyway, 100 rounds. $9.95 for the box.
Well, that
Pound
ain't a bad
apiece.
price. That ain't a
Yep,
bad
I
price.
agree. I
I've
agree.
been buying some RWS at the range, and they've been $11 or $12 for 50 rounds. Target,
Wow, that's double.
yeah, but they're target bullets, so it's
Yeah, they're match ammo.
yeah, but they're not the real expensive ones. I mean,
Mhm.
they're
Oh yeah,
they're
that's 25 a box,
they're-
50.
or more.
Guys,
I
this
saw
isn't a box. This is a double box.
right,
This is 100 rounds.
yeah. I've
Just
seen
keep
some of
saying.
them Lapua ones around there for 30, 35, $36 for 50 rounds.
Oh my
So
God. I mean,
yeah,
hell, you're talking ammunition more expensive than
than
center
center
fire.
fire. Yeah, yeah.
Because we're talking at least 75 cents a round. Go ahead, Mike. I think Mike's got a call, so he's calling in. I agree with Jay Hammer. It is. It's
Can you hear
why
me?
I'm. Yes, we can hear you.
Do you hear me twice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Bueller.
No echo. I don't hear an echo.
Bueller. Testing.
Jay Hammer, you got it right. That's why I call it brag myself. You get a blue star. You get a gold star for that, or blue star for that, Jay Hammer.
Nick, what's up with you this week?
Not much. I was been a busy last couple days at work. Swung by one of my local gun stores this afternoon after work. Picked up just one box of a Greek 8mm Mauser. It was one of the only boxes they had. Got a pretty good price on it. Other than that, that's really about it. I gotta send some money to a buddy tomorrow for a gun I'm buying from him. First half of it, get that sent over, and then gun show this weekend, and then I think that's it for the year.
Nick, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
How old is that Greek ammo?
this is 19. Let's see, the box says 40. All the head stamps say 1938. But
Nick, be real careful with
good.
that. Make
Oh,
sure
no,
you clean that rifle after you shoot it.
Yeah, it's corrosive.
could-
I don't shoot most of this stuff. It's good to buy to have.
That sounds like a phone call.
So you got some 8mm ammo there. You ever thought about
Hello?
Oh,
Did you hear me?
yeah,
Once
we hear
or twice?
you, Mike.
once.
Okay, do you hear me
Okay, do
twice
you hear me
now?
twice now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear you twice now.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Okay, gang. Call in folk is working now. 608-467-0308. Finally.
But no, that's got Greek stuff. It was a contract for I don't remember who, because the Greeks never used 8mm. They had their own cartridge that used it was an 8mm projectile, but it wasn't strictly 8mm. So I don't know who the contract was for, but they found a warehouse just full of this stuff about 2 years ago, and it's still been coming into the country pretty regularly. So it's when it's 20 rounds for about $7-8, it's kind of a no-brainer to pick a couple boxes up here and there when you can. So
Bernan primed.
we're damn primed, but I look at it, I'll shoot through most of my bolt guns, no problem. And then I'm going to be getting that kit from Brian Nixon to convert to Boxer Prime. So at that point, I'll have Boxer Prime brass. So, and it's a standard primer. It's not like a 54R Cupro nickel case where the primer's super big. This is just a standard large rifle primer pocket. So, but yeah, I was going to complain for, I think what's that? It's 20 rounds for about $7, you're not even 50 cents. So I'm not complaining. So
Just remember to clean your rifle after with soap and
I do.
water when you're done.
I clean them every time I shoot them.
Outstanding.
It's just
Call 608-467-0308 for a good time. I mean, call for the call-in show. Thank you, Mr. Loud, for the suggestion.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We're sitting here listening to crickets instead of the good folks calling in.
What about you, Paul? Anything this week?
I'm trying to cut a deal on a Solus action from what do you call it?
Can we ban him, please? Oh,
Yeah.
come on, Jim. Don't put that. Don't start that. Come on.
Too
That's
late.
Too
I already
far.
did.
Or that's Mike. Come on.
I didn't do it. Jim did it.
No, me.
From
My
Aero
hands are up here.
Precision. So
No, that's a good action. We enjoyed looking at it last year, and I'm hoping they didn't have it at range day this last year, so I'm hoping Arrow has it at range day this coming year. So it's going to be nice. That same, was it? Oh shoot, who is it? The other one starts with an F. I'm blanking on the company. Makes all the AR barrels.
Frankenstein
Faxon.
Ultra.
Faxon, yes. Faxon's got their action that they were working on. Hopefully that's at range day. And then I'm hoping to see Anderson's action again, see what that looks like, especially if it's going to be a budgeted price point. So I'm interested to see that again.
There's another one out there that isn't well known. It's as well known. It's Mac Brothers, and they're putting an action out there in the under $800 range.
And that's big because there's a lot of people that want to start building a gun. Like ARs are nice, but most people can build an AR. I think the next step for most people want to build something is build that precision gun, and I'm eventually going to be there. And now that I've moved out west from Middle Illinois, where you can't shoot over 300 yards, I can go down to a range here that's about an hour south of me. They actually just got approved from the county to put out to a mile. So that'd be nice to have, especially a gun that can just really push out there and shoot. So it's eventually going to happen. Build a nice gun, and plus, there's if say I do something wrong, there's a gun shop that does gunsmithing 10 minutes away. If I do something wrong, I can just take it to them; they'll fix it for me.
Yeah.
So,
okay, our first question of the day here is: what powder dispenser would you pick? RCBS Chargemaster Link, IntelliDropper, or Gen 6? I did a review of the RCBS Chargemaster Link, and be honest with you, with the prices that are out there right now on it, that's the one I would pick. It was throwing within 0.2 of a grain all the time. And it was considerably accurate repeatedly. And I tested it against an FX 120i to test it out, and that's what I would pick. Little more money. It's more money than the IntelliDropper. About the same as the Gen 6, or maybe a little more. But check Natchez online right now. I think they have it for about $250 or something like that. So it's a good savings on it. Anybody else want to kick in on that?
I run the IntelliDropper. I haven't had an issue with it. I've always loved it. I know some people have had issues, like Mimer or Mike. When he was doing his, he was getting some interference when he was running next to that lineman, I believe.
Can't hear you, Mike.
That's because I had the IntelliDropper next to the Lyman Gen 6.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had any issues with mine. The only thing I've noticed on the IntelliDropper versus the RCBS, the IntelliDropper is very sensitive compared to what I've seen on the RCBS, Chargemaster Link. So I don't know if that could be a tipping point towards the RCBS. It's just I actually got a really good deal on it. I think I got like 50% off, so it was like under $100, I think, for mine. So with my little discount code, so
Yeah, if you're paying retail like most of these guys out here,
absolutely, yeah. At that point, I would probably go with the RCBS.
And like I said, I did a long test on it. I borrowed it from my nephew who ordered it, and I threw a lot of charges with it and weighed every one of them on an FX 120, and okay, it's going to be it's less than a tenth off, and as I looked at it, 200ths, maybe 400ths of a grain plus or minus, which is pretty good. So I haven't tested an IntelliDropper. I have to get one to test. And Gen 6, I got rid of my last Lyman a while ago, and I didn't like it.
So I have the Gen 6. I have the IntelliDropper. I've noticed the IntelliDropper is a bit better, a little friendlier. The app works better.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about the app. You can save your loading. So if you find a load that works great, you can just save that and just run with the Frankfurt.
Yeah, literally, you can just pull it back up. I don't know if I've got the.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any saved on mine or not. I gotta look.
I don't think I do. It did on my old phone, but obviously that's long gone. So that's the only drawback is I didn't find that you could carry over. So
well, you can actually export, Mike.
Oh, whoops.
So yeah, just go into the app, and then you go to database.
Oh yeah, I see export.
And then export. Yep.
But yeah, so you can do all that. I mean, here's your app screen. So it's basically the same as the actual punch-in screen. So you can like pick your powder charge, you can zero it, trickle. You can do your powder calibration on the app. You can set up your load. So it's you can check your cartridge or caliber. You can pick your bullet weight. You can pick your bullet and your manufacturer. Let's just do it here. Pick a cartridge.
223. Make it easy.
30,
Okay.
30-06.
Too late, Jim. Okay. Bullet.
69 grain Sierra Match King.
Oh, that would be a 224. Let's see here. Blitz, Blitz King, FMJ, BT, Hornet, HP, HPBT, SPT, SMP, SPT, and TMK. Which one? You said
Sierra Match King.
yeah. It's not
69
giving me.
grain.
Yeah, it's not giving me the Match King option for some stupid reason.
How about a 55 grain Game King? Blitz King. Excuse me, Blitz King.
Okay. So here's the nice thing is it fills in your sectional density and your ballistic coefficient. What powder do we want to use?
Double A 2230.
Accurate. Is that?
Mhm.
Okay. Then you can put your COL, and then you can put your firearm. You can pick your primer. You can pick your case. I put 1.50, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that's too long, if I remember correctly.
What the case? Case is
Yeah.
1.7.
Oh, it's too short. Cool.
Yeah. Truth. What bore scope would you recommend? Only one, Teslong.
I think we all use them.
Yep.
Yep. I don't have one, but that's what I would say. Someday I'll get one. So you can pick your primer and your case. So you can put all this information in and it'll save it. And then you can enter your grain weight.
Paul Loud, married men have money. It's the divorced men that don't have any money.
What are you talking about? I don't have any money and I'm married. You schmuck. And then there's a cost calculator built in. And you can have your favorite loads and all that fun stuff. So now I'm a little annoyed that I didn't export the data off my old one. Oh well. Anyway, so Teslong, bore scope. Make sure you get the mirrors, a little 5-pack if it doesn't come with it, because that is a game changer for cartridge direction. So if you get the little 5-pack that Nick's pulling out right now, then it doesn't matter whether you get the hard or the soft.
Yeah. So here's the little sideway mirrors you can get, and they're caliber specific.
Yeah. So when you get that kit, it doesn't matter whether you get the hard shaft or the soft shaft.
Yeah.
Because that fits in the bore and it goes down the bore real nice. So
yeah. So I use the rigid rod, super nice quality.
Mm-hmm.
Measured. It's marked with inch.
It is. Yep.
So you can find out where you're at in the bore, and if you find a problem, you can note it. And
exactly. Yep. Yeah. This one's a 26-inch rod.
Right.
And then this one also. I got some shot a couple years ago. Also, this one has the screen. So you just plug it in, and you can actually take photos. So you're looking down the board, say you see something down there, you can just snap a picture on this thing and then pull them off on a flash drive and download them to your computer. And it's also got a light, which isn't too bad. Let me see. Turn this on. So it's got a little light, which is nice to have if you need it. So, but yeah, they're good quality stuff. So, and especially their customer service. Dad would definitely say it because they're having internet issues at the house, and but he's dealt with them probably 3-4 times in the last couple months. Nothing on a bad end. He's just been ordering stuff and asking stuff. His rod didn't come with the screen, so he called a couple times to figure out which screen he wanted, and then he also ordered one of the flexible rods for us to take when we go to auctions or gun shows. It's just a pain in the butt to carry this long big rod around. If you can have one of the flexible roll-up ones, just leave in a bag or backpack or something.
They also make a folding rod too.
Yep.
So Teslong.
And they make more than just your rifle bore scopes. They make ones for plumbers, automotive.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really where the game started. They just kind of worked their way into this market. So,
But the key is if you want to be able to get down 22 barrels, you got to get the firearms one.
yep.
Mhm.
So you know what's
Running-
great?
Go ahead.
So obviously I have an Android, so I have the Google Opinion Rewards. And they pay me every time I go to work at Cabela's. Every single time I go to Cabela's, the very next day, there's a survey on whether I went to Cabela's or not. So I've had to have made probably $15 off the survey for the time I've been working at Cabela's. So,
All right, we
Uh,
got running with scissors. Okay, I'll play. What flame and needler would you use and why? I don't have the single man money, so no amp press for me. I have married man money. Okay.
build your own.
You're-
I mean, as far as price wise, I think EP Integrations 2.0 and Annealy's and Ugly Annealer, I think they're all three kind of, $10-15 with another.
It all
We've
depends
had
on
Todd-
what she wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Todd from EP Integrations on. The only objection I have to his is it's a single feed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only objection I have.
Yeah,
With
I
Todd.
agree. That's the only objection. The only thing, the advantage it has over the other ones is how quick you can adjust it from
Yeah.
say 300 blackout to 338 Win Mag. 15 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the huge advantage of that. There's no, it's an easy adjustment, unlike some of the
Mhm.
other ones where there's actually parts you have to take off and put different parts on. And
Yep. It's just
Yeah.
a loosening of a wing nut, swing that plate back further, adjust your flame rod, and you're done.
so, yeah, I mean, that's the thing about that. It's definitely until he gets. My understanding is he's working on something for a case
Mhm.
feeder, but he hasn't come up with something that's successful yet. Todd is one of those guys. He's been on the show, but he's one of those guys that he's not going to release it until it's good. He wants to make sure it works. He doesn't want to have a lot of comebacks like some companies do. I'm not saying Annealy's and Ugly Annealer do that. Okay. I'm explaining why he doesn't have one out yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know squat about Ugly. Isn't that the one you have, Paul?
I've been testing one out. I have two. I have a Gerard, okay, which is a flame and needler, which is expensive as hell compared to the
Oh, it's a
Ugly.
Gerard.
And the Ugly is fine. I mean, it works. I can set it up to run 2 torches or 1 torch or whatever. Can't do that with the Gerard. The Gerard I had because it was the only one that was out there that could do a lot of 223 and 308 cases when I was shooting my M1A a lot and practicing for CMP. So
What's the advantage of having 2 flames?
I can direct one more towards the back of towards the shoulder of the case, and the other one I can have hitting the mouth of the case.
Okay.
But be honest with you, most of the time I use 1 torch. I hook it up to a 20-pound propane tank. I fill it. I let it run. When I don't hear any more cases dropping into the pan, I go up. I fill it again. Okay. That's the nice thing about it. Adjustment is just 1 set screw, so it's pretty easy as far as that goes, and it does have a case size limiter, so you have like 5 different size cases that basic cases that you're set with it. So yeah, which is better than the Gerard because I have to change the wheels on a Gerard. I have to go from a 223 wheel to a 308 to a Magnum wheel, and that's a pain.
Yeah, there's also that. I think it's Burst Fire. Is I think another one?
Yeah,
that's out
burst
there?
fire. Yep,
I think it's very similar, like the Ugly.
yep.
Or it's got the you can do the case prep on top as well.
Which is nice because that the Ugly doesn't have that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like right under 300.
Yep.
Like 289, right around there.
Oh yeah. Travis has that.
The
Ken,
Burst Fire.
no, Ken's got that.
Oh, Ken's got it.
Yep.
I thought Travis did too. We have a call. Hello.
Hey, after Mike, this is Russ from I'm calling from the suburbs of Big Lake, Alaska. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. Can everybody
Well,
hear Russ?
unfortunately, I can't. I'm watching the program on the phone, so while I'm on the phone, I can't see you guys' handsome faces. But I just wanted to call and really appreciate you guys putting that HBM, segment on last week. I'm really looking forward to getting started on that. So I just really wanted to thank you, and I can't thank you guys. It's just you guys just got common sense, experience, and I really appreciate what you guys do.
You're most welcome. Most welcome. You have any loading questions or anything on for us?
Russ, can you hear him? Hello, Russ? Anybody? Bueller? Hold on a second here.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Okay, there we go.
So, sorry, I had it set up so you should have been able to hear them, but I guess not. So it's still not working right. Paul wants to know if you had any reloading questions for us.
Okay, no, I just called to thank you guys for last week going through that HBN for me.
Okay.
And gonna get started on that, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not burning out any barrels, obviously, on a 44 mag or a 480 Ruger, but I'm thinking just the protection on the forcing cone that makes it worth treating the revolver, and I just want to check for better performance and cleanliness.
Well, I hope you get some. I've never tried it and never worked it in a high-powered handgun.
He says he hopes you get some. He's never tried it in a high-powered handgun. So.
And like I said, I think if nothing else, you're treating it for the forcing cone will help.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I just called to say how much I appreciate you guys as your common sense, advice, and experience. Priceless. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're glad to be able to help.
Okay. And you guys have a wonderful holiday.
You as well.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you,
Okay,
Russ.
thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you.
Everybody says thank you.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, we'll
Appreciate
talk
it.
to you later.
Okay, bye.
All right. Well, that sucked because the audio didn't work. You guys couldn't talk to him. So I think we had that problem last time too.
Paul Loud, handsome faces. Someone needs a vision check.
Eh,
Probably you, Paul.
Russ was being nice, you schmuck.
Good one, Paul. Lay it right back on him.
Yeah.
So, but Paul Loud wants to know. So I'm about to start reloading for a 243 Win. What bullet weight would you recommend for a 1 in 10 twist, 26-inch barrel? Also powder suggestions.
Nothing over 100. Nothing over 100 grains.
You mean that 105 won't work?
You may be able to get the 105 to work, but I would.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I would stick with the with 100 grain, and probably if you want a bullet brand, Sierra makes a good 100 grain Spitzer flat base that would work well. If you had a 1 and 9, I'd say go with the 100 grain with a bow tail on it. But you can try. Basically it's 100 grain. If you got a bow tail, 90 grain with a bow tail on it for a 1 in 10 twist. And back to the annealing question. Powder suggestions. Oh wow. 4350 H or IMR. Winchester 760 if you can find it. If you want to go ball powder, IMR 4830 4831. That'll work too in that. You can, if you got some, you want to try some of that new stuff that's out there. And here I am suggesting another ball powder. You could try that match, or 6.5.
What bullet weight are you talking, Paul?
100 grain.
100 grain.
Yeah.
On the 50th, Lyman 50th, they say Varget's the most consistent. Yeah. Otherwise, I've got H414, IMR 4350, Accurate 4350, Hunter RX19, IMR 4831, Vudavorian 160, or RX22. So, I mean, Varget's going to be kind of hard to find. It's a little better, but
I think
a little
it's
better than it used to be. But yeah, if you've got the 4350, so have at it.
Yeah.
I remember several years ago I had pretty good luck with IMR 4895. It's the same powder that goes in 308. But anyway, I had pretty good luck with that, and a friend's 243. He loaned me the rifle for about a year, and I worked up a load to work up a load for him. And the first load I tried, 4895, I had about 7/8 to an inch at 100 yards. That's where I quit. Gave him back his rifle about 3 months after he gave it to me.
Powder Valley's got Varget in stock.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's got 4350 in stock, 4831 SC in stock. It's even got Jim's favorite BLC2.
That is a good choice.
Yep. They are still out of stock on H4895. Out of stock on a sneaker here for lightweight bullets in the 243 is H322 if you're going to shoot light bullets, and it meters really nice, but they don't have that in stock. Damn.
Side note on Powder Valley. President of Powder Valley was on with Tom Gresham last weekend. So he talked a little bit about the history and stuff and what's going on. And keep an eye on Powder Valley in the next couple of weeks. They've got some information and news coming up.
Ooh.
So
I love them. They're a Kansas company, so I love to order them.
Expansion is one of the things that is coming up, but yeah, they got some stuff coming up, so pay attention to Powder Valley. Raggle Fraggle, what does that say? It says according to
Yeah, I looked.
Hodgkin, and then it looks like a computer threw up on the screen.
Mhm.
I think he posted whatever Hodgkin had on the websites because it's 760, 2700, 40, 64, 4350, BLC2, H380. It's just, yeah, it's a jumble mess.
Before we
Appreciate
get there, we got Ken Brown. If you don't already own a powder and loading a new cartridge, what factors do you use to choose your first powder to test? How about that one, guys? That's a good one.
That is a really good one.
Okay, if you don't own a powder and you're loading a new cartridge, what factors do you use to choose your first powder to test? Okay, for me personally, I don't have the powder. That's the key to this, gang. Do not have the powder sitting on the shelf. Okay, so my first point is I'm going to look up loads, get recipes, find out what's, Lyman gives you the, what they've had success with. If I know somebody who loads for that cartridge and has a firearm similar to mine, similar twist rate, et cetera, and they're going to be shooting similar weight bullets, I'm going to check with them, see what they're using. And then the most important thing is going to be, can I find the powder without having to pay to ship it? I hate paying shipping fees because I don't have the money to buy 8 pounds at a shot. I'm buying a pound here and a pound there. So it's something I got to be able to find locally. And locally means, I guess, if I've got to drive to Lomira or Sauk City, which is, 35, 40 minutes, that type of thing. It's not always Cabela's because Cabela's, frankly, Bass Pro Incorporated, their powder prices are kind of high. Thanks, dickheads. There are local places that carry powder that it's cheaper. So, because we only get 7% off on powder. So the big thing is, if I can find somebody, otherwise I'm just going to go off load data. Kind of check the speed charts. Once I figure out what I can find, then I'm going to check your speed charts. Depending on what I'm doing with it, do I want a faster or do I want a slower? What am I looking at for velocity is what I'm looking at. So I check the burn rate charts, check the speed chart for the cartridge for the loads. What's got your better feet per second range. Also, another thing to consider, return on investment. If I have a powder that's only giving me 100 feet per second more, but that powder requires 4 grains more, 5 grains more, 6 grains more, a grain more, 2 grains more per charge. Every pound bottle has 7,000 grains in it. So it's a known amount. If I have a powder that I can buy where every load I'm throwing 5 less grains, that's more loads per bottle. So that's a factor, especially if they're comparable in performance. So.
Well, then you limit yourself to the faster powders in there. That's the only problem with that. Sometimes a gun needs to have a slower powder.
But speed kills, man.
Yeah. But sometimes a gun needs a slower powder. So
correct.
I kind of look for the case volume, okay, and the what the average charge weight would be for that speed that I'm looking at. So 308 case has got, let's call it 52 to 54 grains of capacity in there. I'm going to look for something that's I'm throwing somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 grains or something along those lines to get that point with the speed and the bullet that I want. In other words, I'm looking for kind of an average, but I want the load density to be up closer from, say 90% to close to 100%. So I'm going to look at load density because that's going to give me a better burn as far as what I can see in testing loads out.
We lost Jim, so he can't answer the question. Nick?
I'm kind of in the middle of both of you guys. So, especially for me, loading on the milsurp side, if I'm trying to, for instance, right now I'm kind of on the slow process, 7.5 Swiss GP11. So the first thing I usually do is I'll go and chronograph original milsurp ammo. Try to figure out, okay, what's this going to be shooting from when it was loaded? What's it shooting right now? Say 1,700 feet per second velocity. That's just a rough number. But am I hearing an echo? No, I'm not on there. Okay, anyway. Then I'll go and I'll look at data for that bullet, figure out where I need to be. I usually try to find a powder I might have in hand first. If I have something that is close to, say it's H4895, if I have a powder close to H4895 that I can use, I'll go there. But at that point, if I need to go find the powder or find an equivalent in the ballpark range powder, then I'll do that. I'm like Mike. I don't like to pay hazmat. So I'm fortunate here in the Kansas City area. There's quite a few shops that do stock powder. And Bass Pro Cabela's is my last resort, usually, because they are the most expensive. But that's kind of where I go. I really don't worry about case volume until I have a chance, unless I'm running into a full case where I'm crushing the powder. But I don't normally get that high. I'm usually shooting surplus, so that's normally where I don't have any issues. But that's kind of I'm very simple on that. I don't really do a ton of that because most of the stuff I load, it's maybe a handful of 6-7 different powders total. So nothing out there in left field or anything.
I usually will buy a 1 pound to see, where I'm at. Whoop.
Hello?
Hey, it's Raggle Fraggle here. How you
Hey,
guys
Raggle
doing
Fraggle.
tonight?
Can you guys all hear Raggle Fraggle? Raggle Fraggle?
Yes,
I can.
Raggle Fraggle, can you hear them?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Darn.
Oh, that's quite all right. Just want to say I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years now. You guys are great. Been a major help to me, especially starting out. I guess my question is going to be, if you had to pick one powder that you could use for the rest of your days based on what you load now, what powder would you probably pick? Trying to figure out kind of what would fill most of the bases for you guys individually.
That's pretty easy.
No, no.
As usual, Paul and I are going to disagree on this one.
Yeah, probably, because you guys load for different
One
things.
powder to do it all. There is no such thing to start off with, but there is one that might do it all. Go ahead, Paul. You
Go ahead. I'm waiting on you. I got.
Well, you're
both
going to
feet.
have to. We're probably going to take and start with cast bullets, and we're probably going to use unique mild charges. But the point is, if you're shooting a bullet, 150 grain bullet at 1,250 feet per second, you're shooting a whitetail at 25 yards. That's pretty potent medicine. We're talking survival stuff here, is what we're talking about.
Is that your
SHCS stuff.
Fraggle is survival?
Just something to stockpile.
Okay. So not
Okay.
necessarily SHTF, but in
Right.
case of
Okay.
powder shortage.
It
One,
for a
one
rifle.
powder for rifle, one powder for rifle, one powder for handgun. How about we
Yeah.
give us how much selection?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're going to
Yeah,
have to
supply
because
that.
there's not really any way you can use a lot of pistol powders and rifles without blowing them up.
Right.
Yep.
and
Okay, so Paul,
I would sit down with Unique for pistol, and I'm gonna say H or IMR 48.95.
Oh my God. We agree. The screen's going to burn up. We agree on both.
hell froze over. Damn it,
Oh, shut up.
Nick.
Good choices, Paul.
I would agree on the Unique.
Yep.
That's pretty much tried and true for everybody's pistol loads. And then I'm going to throw a wild card out there.
Yeah.
Being that most of my stuff is cast bolts anymore for a lot of the surplus, accurate 5744. Paul knew where I was going. I said cast bolts. He
Yep.
knew exactly where I was going with rifle. It's for everything. There's very
Well,
little.
You're shooting several obsolete calibers.
Well, even you could shoot it. There's so many things you can shoot it with.
No,
It's,
Nick,
it's
I'm
just
trying to
so
say you
universal.
need that.
You can load with 5744. You can sit down and load 458 Winchester Magnum with it and have a load. I
Yeah.
mean, it works. I know that.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very universal powder.
You
for
can
about
load
everything.
223 with it. I mean, you know, it was originally one of the first powders they used in 223. I picked 48.95 because it fits a lot, you know, a long range of cartridges. You know, I can load it from 22 Hornet all the way up to 458 Win Mag. So we go there. But I understand with cast bullets, you know, and rifle rounds, I'm going to sit down and say, yeah, you know, that would be one that, and it's available. That's
It
the other
is.
thing.
It's not
You
the
know.
cheapest in the world. It's about $50 a pound now, but
Yep.
it's available. That's
It's
the big thing.
available. That is the one thing you were going to find that Alliant is not going to be around a whole lot. They're going to, in fact, Vista Outdoors announced that Alliant powders are going to be hard to come by. Plus, they have another increase in price coming up. So, if you're looking for powders and you find Alliant and you need it, buy it because it's going to be going up in price. That means primers are going to be going up in price, guys, because we have CCI and Federal coming from Vista Outdoors
And Remington.
and Remington. So I'm sorry. Buy what you can. But back to the powder choices. Yeah, it's really hard to pick out one for each because there's so many people have different needs and what they want. Jim and I agree on what we do and how we load. Nick is going to agree with our pistol loads and some rifle loads for him. Unique.
Let me put that another way. If it wasn't cast, I would go IMR 3031. That's another
good
one.
choice.
It's like 40.95. It's a very universal powder on the rifle side.
Yep. Another one you can load up to, 458 Winchester mag on with 3031. So, I mean, gets tougher to load, big Magnum cases like, 378 Weatherby mag with those kind of powders, but you're going to be limited with that anyway. There's only so much H1000 you're going to find out there, and that kind of stuff. So,
so Raggle Fraggle, what's your choice?
I'm gonna have to go with what I already have a lot of, which would probably be Winchester 231 for a pistol and $48.95 for rifle if I had to differentiate. But the one that I find for what I load, I use those as IMR 4227 because I load 300 blackout subs, 17 Hornet, 45 Colt, 357, and it covers all of that.
Yeah, it does. 4227 is another good cast bullet cartridge load and small rifle loads.
Yeah, it's a
So-
very underestimated powder. It's not the big name powders like you're seeing. It's kind of sitting back behind, waiting for its turn, kind of thing.
That was one of my go-to powders when I was loading 30 Harriet for deer hunting. So it's got to work in a 300 blackout. So
I wanted to tell you, Paul, that was complaining about this a while back, but Hodgdon, you couldn't sort based on the powder what kind of cartridges you could load with it. And I had found a pack to good, but they got rid of it. But with this new update, apparently, on the website, you can sort by powders again. So
okay,
you guys know about.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Mhm.
They did update their loading site the other day too. Their website has been updated. So
Yeah, that's what I was about.
yeah.
I didn't know if you guys. I thought I'd let you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But,
I got another call to pick up. I'll talk to you guys another time.
Thank you, sir, for calling.
Thanks for taking my call. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bamadad. I don't remember the last time. I don't even know if Remington ever made powder. Did they?
I don't think they did. I think they bought it.
They made,
DuPont from DuPont.
but
So I
I
was
don't even
thinking it was
recall them
DuPont.
ever packaging it. So it's got to be, over 25 years since they've had Remington branded powder.
I've never seen. I was relating more longer than that, long ago than that. And I know that I heard back then word of mouth. It was they were using DuPont powders for their ammo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
IMR.
Yep.
Improved military rifle.
So, I'm gonna go with. I didn't answer it, but I'm going with Paul and Jim. 48.95 and unique. So, I could go with 3031, but so
You'll probably find you're getting a bit more velocity with 48.95.
right.
Mhm.
So Bamadad, the only thing they're doing in Ilion is guns. And that's Rem Arms now. Remington ammunition and Remington primers was sold off in June of 2022 when they filed bankruptcy for the second time in 2 years. Or was it? No, it was 21. Sorry, June of 21 when they filed bankruptcy for the second time in 2 years. So what happened is they literally broke up Remington as it was. Remington had a whole bunch of companies. They owned Para, they owned AAC
Bushmaster.
Bushmaster,
DPMS.
yeah,
Mhm.
DPMS and Marlin, and they had the ammunition company. And there's some other various things that they had that weren't really firearms related, courtesy of Freedom Group jackasses. And so the judge said, nope, we're not playing this game again. And literally said, that's fine. You guys want to go bankrupt? You can go bankrupt and you're not going to exist anymore. And literally Remington that day ceased to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Bench addict, you're a schmuck. Does that answer your question? So, Pan Jockey said 4227, guessing IMR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they bought Tapco and ran them out of business. They did that same thing to Para. Some of these companies now that they've been split off, they still own the intellectual rights, so that somebody else bought the intellectual rights. And so there's a rumor that somebody's going to bring Para back, and possibly Tapco and maybe some others.
Tapco was running itself out of business, though.
Well, I mean, that, to be fair, yeah, because they decided to hitch their wagon to the SKS.
Right.
Didn't they? I think they also own US Palm, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think Century bought US Palm, I think, as well, and they're trying to bring them back. And I don't know. It's just a jumbled mess that was going on there.
There's some companies that went out that ceased to exist that was good.
Well, Para was having a lot of problems on their own,
Right.
and then Remington bought them. Remington tried to bring out their quote Para with the Remington pistol. That died real fast. Then Bushmaster was involved in too many lawsuits. DPMS was a good brand. It was running well. But it got sucked under with Remington's quality control.
Yep.
And that's the same thing that happened with Remington on its rifles. Its quality control started to slip really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you get sued for the two firearms that have been made since the 50s without issues, the 700 and the 870, something's wrong.
Right.
All right, so obviously Ruger got Marlin. Ammunition went to Vista. Let's see here.
Which now is that new line going over to the Czech group?
What's that?
Well, that's up in the air yet. That's up in the air.
True. Yeah, I just watched a video on that today. Yeah,
Well, that was a second group.
Yeah, Colt
because the first Czech
CZ
group doesn't involve CZ.
Exactly. Yeah, that's that
CZ,
other Czech group.
Colt CZ put an offer in, and as of today, Vista rejected it.
Yep.
So
we're gonna have fighting going on at SHOT Show or something. I can already feel it. Oh man.
You know, the people that are selling have the first right refusal. So you know, so something was wrong with the Colt CZ offer, and I think which is what it was is they wanted to break it up.
Well, no, the thing is Vista didn't ask for an offer from Colt CZ. They didn't ask for an offer for them. They had it from the other Czech group that was the first group that was announced. That's the one they were working on accepting, and they're still working on it to my knowledge. The Colt CZ group threw an offer out there, and Vista's like, no, we didn't ask for this. Go away. So Vista got Remington's Lonoke ammunition business. Sierra Bullets got the whichever bullet manufacturer. Started one of the B's.
Yeah, Barnes.
Yeah. Ruger got Remington or Marlin. Round Hill Group is the Rem Arms. And then JJE Capital Holdings got H&R, Parker, and a couple other, I think Para and a couple others.
Which that's the company that owns Palmetto State.
Yep. Sportsman's Warehouse got the Tapco brand. Franklin Armory got Bushmaster.
And no one picked DPMS up?
No, I think DPMS went to JJE.
Okay.
Yeah, because I recently saw something about DPMS making a comeback. I don't remember what it was. I know the company that owns the group that owns Palmetto bought H&R because that's they're doing those retro rifles. That's how they're able to do that M16 retro rifle line, being that they bought the H&R brand.
So I'm scrolling through to find. No, that was just on the Vista. Oh, sorry, they filed bankruptcy in 2020.
Who's that?
Remington.
Oh, I couldn't remember when it was. I knew it was
Yeah.
multiple times in a couple of years. They were pumping out true junk at the end there.
Yeah.
It was some of the 870s we would get in at the shop were just terrible.
Yeah, it was Barnes. Franklin Armory got Bushmaster. So JJE Capital Holdings got H&R. Go away. I don't want your stupid ad. Storm Lake, DPMS, AAC, Parker. And that's the one that owns Palmetto.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe they're going to get back into cans. So
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, AAC's can was the can line, but I think now Palmetto's Ammo's company is now AAC, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's they made that made their ammo line now. So interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe so they own the Parker name. That could be interesting. Granted, it's never going to be anywhere near what the Parkers were, but
Well, they tried putting out a Parker for a while.
what's that?
They tried putting a Parker out for a while. Remington.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
No, that was in the late 30s, early 40s when they tried that.
Yeah, but I mean, they tried it again in the 70s to make a Parker.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
and
that's
it didn't work. Yeah.
like what happened with Fox when Savage bought them. So
Mm-hmm.
Raggle Fraggle's got a good one.
Which one?
Wyndham.
The most recent Wyndham. What's gonna happen with Wyndham? I don't know. Did they say who's buying them? Or I haven't seen
That's
anything
what I'm
on that.
looking for.
I knew that they closed shop, but I don't know if somebody bought them yet or not. Because I know they have one of the. Oh gosh, is it the coatings? Or it was something they had that was from the original military spec of something. I don't remember what it was. He remember saying it was that though. The guy there at the booth.
Well, I like the first one he listed there, a deep dive on powders and why they behave the way they do in certain cartridges and what makes them better for certain scenarios.
That'd be a fun topic for next week.
Yeah.
Raggle Fraggle, everything reloading related to Vista and Hodgdon. No, we still got a lot of companies that are out there, but that's the problem with having conglomerates come in and buy things up, and that with Vista, and then before it, all the other ones that were before it. And Hodgdon has just been a place in a place to really distribute powders efficiently. They do not manufacture anything; they distribute. So, Varget is made in Australia. St. Mark's is where most of the ball powders are made in Florida. There's a couple other places where other powders are manufactured, and Hodgdon has just been a place to one has the area to hold and to package and distribute. So. Which is a big thing because dealing with what they have and the land and the bunkers and everything else to store and hold powders correctly.
Mm-hmm. So Wyndham Weaponry's website is still active. They've still got stuff on there for sale, but I don't know if it's just somebody bought the auction and won it. So. Because they auctioned everything off.
Yeah. Let's see. Are they on the SHOT Show list right now? Let's take a look. SHOT Show 2024.
Okay, so on November 16th on their Facebook page, they posted, just to let you know, Wyndham Weaponry will be up and running soon. We will honor the lifetime warranty. Keep your eyes on the website and Facebook for further details. So I'm
So
looking-
someone bought them out,
Yeah.
bought the name, bought the processes, and they're going to keep it
unlike
going.
Rem Arms said that they would honor the warranties.
Hmm.
That's the thing with Rem Arms.
Right.
And I don't blame Rem Arms one bit, because if they were to honor all the warranties for Remington firearms,
Mm.
they'd go bankrupt. Maybe down the road, after they're up and completely going and good and everything, maybe that's something that they look into doing. So
They are not on the SHOT Show exhibitor list as of right now. So
Well, that's too late. They won't be on it. Then.
yeah, that they'd have their spot. That's for sure.
Right.
They were on a corner spot as always, so they would definitely have that. They'd be there for sure. So it'll be interesting. See what
Yeah,
the
but
deal is.
don't kick them out just yet, guys.
No,
it's,
absolutely not. They used to make really good stuff years ago. I have never ran any of their newer stuff, but
First they started out low end, and then they went high end.
mm-hmm.
So anyhow,
it doesn't say. I'm looking through the comments and stuff, and they never responded to any of the questions that asked, how did this happen? So obviously somebody bought them and they are continuing, but nobody is saying on the page.
I think give it time. Probably after the first year, we'll probably get some. information.
it may be an investment group that bought them. They're
Mhm.
just going to keep the name and work it that way, and they just have to reorganize. That's it. That happens.
So whoever got them must have gotten the equipment and everything. So I guess I could probably look at the auction and find out that way. See if it says who won the auctions.
While we're looking for something to say, guys, I want to say that I need to refresh my screen. We've got how many people watching? How many likes? I'm gonna refresh my Foxfire screen. 25 watching, 2 likes. Yeah, it can't be right. 24 likes. That's more like it. 25 and 24.
So, Bama Dad, I fear if all of these vendors fall into the ownership of only a few large corporations, it will be more susceptible to government overreach, probably.
no, I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Okay.
The larger the corporation, the less chance the government has to
I suppose.
To do it. It's the small guys that get hurt by the government.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to fight.
They
more
don't.
money to
Right.
fight.
It's really hard for a small company to fight Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Because of the margins aren't there. That's the thing. A larger corporation, they can pull from other people, from other parts of their corporation to do a fight if it's a profitable option. So, Todd, primer prices, no, don't
No.
even think about it.
I think the new norm will be about $80 a thousand. I think
80
that's the new.
$80 to $90 1,000. Yeah.
Yep, I could have gotten large rifle for $80 right now today. I have plenty of large rifle at the moment, and
So if you see a sale in the $70 range, buy them.
Yep.
It's just it's what it's going to be. It's a difficult process, and the liability is really high on it, and especially since we've had so many primer production mishaps in the last year.
Mhm.
Federal had a mishap not long ago. Winchester, Olin Winchester had a mishap not too long ago. And there's another company that had another mishap in production. So yeah, there's liability is way high on it, much higher than it used to be, and the
So
Well,
Yeah.
forgive me for interrupting, Paul, but I'm gonna have to call it a good night. I don't have a lot to say about current events
not a problem, Jim.
in the industry.
Not a problem, Jim. You have a good evening.
mhm.
Thank you, sir. And Mike, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Hell, we've been doing this stuff for 9 years.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Paul Loud was actually decent to someone. Write that boy up.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, truly.
All right. Good night, Jim.
Good night,
night,
Joe. Good night, everyone.
Night, Jim. Any update on the Fiocchi primer plant?
It's in process in building.
Okay.
So
Well,
Yeah,
we're
I
seeing
mean,
a ton of Fiocchi primers. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm assuming those are coming from overseas.
overseas. There's a bunch of South African primers coming in now too. I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, but I've heard about them. So that's one of the things that Powder Valley Prez was talking about. Gresham.
Yeah. I look at it, okay, we were at, say, $35 a thousand, right around there pre-COVID. We're at $80 a thousand.
I think our best hope at this point in time, if the other three come online and start selling retail like they're allegedly supposed to, I think the best we can be looking at is probably 55 to 60.
That's exactly what I just had in my head. I think we're going to be 50, or we're going to be double what we were pre-COVID. And I look at that's still not bad. It's, you tack on 3 cents on your load. That's still not that bad.
So Bama Dad said he was talking to the Madisons the other day about his new cup and anvil press he's working on, and he says he's close. Do you think roll your own primers is going to be viable? Yes, actually it is. In MeWe, there's an entire group dedicated to it. They're doing it now, and there's people that are doing it by the thousand, and they're reusing existing cups, reusing existing anvils. Brian's got this right here for making your own cups. So right here, he's got this. You put it in an anvil press, and you use rough flashing, and you can make your own cups. If you don't want to reuse your old cups, it is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and that might be another thing that drives the price down, because if this stuff gets enough mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
the chemicals to make your own priming compound are out there, and they're not hard to get. Okay. And there's enough people out there that are doing this. And there's a guy that's making loading blocks to put your primers in. There's Madison's is one of the, there's a couple other people that are working on, there's other punches out there besides Brian's on how to make your own primer cups. They're working on making anvils. So far, the couple of people that I've seen in that group that are working on making anvils haven't had much success, because let's face it, the anvil's really detailed.
Mm-hmm.
But they're working on it, and they're going to make it happen. And it's going to get to the point where that is really, really, really practical. Like the rest of the reloading, except for reloading 22. And the companies, when all of a sudden there's a bunch of us that aren't buying primers anymore, they're going to have to go, oh crap. And you're going to see the bottom fall out of primers. and I'm talking 5-10 years, you may get back down to 40 bucks. So
With the way inflation is today and everything else, no, you're going to see it, in the $80 range.
right.
Making primers, um, yeah, okay. If somebody starts making loading blocks that for 1,000 cups,
Well,
and you can buy, if somebody comes up and makes anvils where you can buy anvils,
I think anvils is the key. So
right?
Mhm.
If you can find somebody that'll make anvils for you, you got it. And all it is a punch press.
Exactly. Yep. I was thinking
You
that
know.
you got anvil, and then basically a heavy duty sandwich system. Punch everything down, and you're seating that anvil in there. Because I'm looking at some right now. And that's literally all you have to do. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is Ralph Kahn. He made an anvil punch, and it's not the best, but it works. So, but yeah, I'm on the primer reloading. This is one that somebody made out of 304 stainless. He made a reloading plate for
That's
primer
what you got to do. Yeah.
600 of them. So,
Yeah.
um,
I think
and
we'll get to the point where it'll be 3D printed in now, and then I think that's where
there
it's
are
going to
some
start.
3D printed. There's a couple of people that have got 3D printed ones for 100 or 200, 300. The problem is the 3D printer
Can't
is
go big enough.
right. So,
Yeah.
You need one that, and also, I'm sorry to say that plastic is the wrong thing to make a primer tray out of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's too
why? Just because
susceptible.
priming compound will eat it? Come on.
No, it's too susceptible to static
That
electricity.
So the compounds that they're using that they've had luck with, one of the compounds they're using isn't susceptible. Yeah, you say that word.
Susceptible. Yeah.
Yeah, to static.
Oh, okay.
So
And nothing I could see them doing. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever looked on Etsy or some of these other things. You can get those little
there's
3D
other
printed.
stuff out there on Etsy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the ones where you can put your shell holders and it's got the magnet in the bottom. But that's basically a magnetized like steel or aluminum insert, which it's not aluminum because I don't think it. But you can almost do something like that with that sheeting in there, encase it in
Mhm.
3D printing material, but it gives you that bottom, so your
Yeah.
primer doesn't go. It's just something I'm just brainstorm. But I'm on that same group. It's an incredible group just to follow along.
Yeah.
On the journey that
Yep.
these guys are going down.
And they're always tinkering and playing, and a lot of some of the stuff they're doing is pretty practical. Some of it is STHF stuff, like like Brian Nixon's got his Primol compound that you can use for primers, but that's a 4-step corrosive. So I mean, but that's more of an STHF type thing. But yeah, some of the stuff that they're doing on that priming group and primer reloading group on MeWe is really practical. So they've got one. I've seen some of the stuff out there. There's a couple of guys out there that literally have loading blocks. You literally make up the compound, you slap it, and then you run along a squeegee, and it just fills the cups. And then you let it dry, and you come along and put your anvils in, and away you go. So in case anybody hasn't noticed, I have this lovely hat on. And I also have oops, sorry, Allie, I almost ran over your tail. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want that. I want that. So I've got the cool hat here. Oh, I didn't add me. Dope. So I've got the cool hat, but I've also got pants. Ooh, these are friggin' amazing pajama pants. They've got pockets, tie pants. Oh, they're comfy as heck. They are what I change into every day when I come home from work. Just freaking amazing. And this is from Sean Heron. So this is his camouflage pattern that he made. Camerado. Basically, he didn't like the camouflage options that were out there for hunting in Colorado, so he created his own. And there's depending on what it's on, it looks a little different. I think some of it's just the pictures they took and stuff. But he's got obviously the boonie hat, the pajama pants. They've got track pants. They've got hoodies and hats and all sorts of stuff. It's at camorado.com. CAMORADO.com. It's kind of like multicam, but it's not. So, yeah. So head over there, check it out. Sean and the gang, or Sean's got all that stuff going over there. I mean, you can even get shoes with it, for crying out loud. There's all sorts of stuff, and it's not just to wear out. It's designed for, taking out hunting. So, got bandanas. You can decorate your house with it. They've got stickers for you ladies out there. They've got female centric clothing. So, which his Sean's wife helped design. Got a backpack. They've even got a pet bowl for you, gang. So swing over, check it out. Camorado's pretty awesome. Even if you don't really decide to ever wear it out hunting, I mean, come on, it's camouflage pajama pants that are comfy as heck, and they've got pockets. So swing over, check it out. Price is reasonable. And I want to thank Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company for sponsoring the show for so long. Here is the December patch of the month. He knows. Got the battle axe and the buttstock that obviously looks like it's an AR-15. He's got the NBGs and the tactical beard. So, he knows whether you've been good or bad. So be good, for goodness sake. So as a patch of the month, you get the card, vinyl sticker, which is upside down, and then of course the 3D patch. So make sure you swing over, check them out, patriotpatch.co. Thanks to Jake and Ryan. We are looking for other possible sponsors for the show. We have a similar rule to what they do when We Like Shooting. It's got to be a decent company. It's got to be something that we support and we would use. So if you've got suggestions out there, send them to us, reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. Sponsorship helps the show go better. It helps pay for different things, equipment, so we can get better quality for you. What I'd really like to be able to do is make the show get enough sponsorship on the show, so I could go down to maybe say a little bit at Cabela's, because frankly I love the discount, but be able to have time to make content, lots of content. So that's kind of would be awesome. So anyway, one way you can sponsor us individually if you want is Patreon. So we are grateful for our current Patreons. We are doing another call-in show on January 9th. On January 9th, I have another IntelliDropper that's over there that's brand new in the box, which will be given out on January 9th to one of our current Patreons. You have to be paid up, which means you have to sign up before December 31st in order to qualify for that drawing. So thanks for the suggestion, Bamadad. I'll reach out. So But yeah, so you can either go to Patreon, search for Reloading Podcast, or you can click on the link in the show notes, which should show up on every single podcast app you use. Otherwise, you can go to firearmsradio.net, slide on over to the Reloading Podcast page from the drop-down menu, and you can see the links there to support the show. And you can see the link for Buy Our Stuff. So, and you say, what stuff? Well, I mean, look at this friggin' awesome shirt I'm wearing. Look at that friggin' awesome tumbler Paul's got. Mine, I'm sorry, is upstairs dirty because I had it the other day. I was drinking and I left it downstairs in the man cave and didn't take it up to wash it. So it's in the wash right now. They've got the one that Paul's got there, which has got the brass background. They have one that has a flag background, and then the one that I have, which is the extruded powder background. So we also have sweatshirts. On the back of the t-shirts, you have the choice of plain back or anatomy of a pew. Oh, what's the anatomy of a pew? Oh, we should check that out. What is the anatomy of a pew? Do you remember, Nick?
Wow, I just had a brain fart. I was thinking of something, but explains what different components of a projectile are, or a loaded round are.
Yeah, do you remember what it says?
Oh gosh, no. I don't look at the back of my shirt. It's on my back. Don't even look.
Why not?
I don't know. I just put a shirt on.
So, anatomy of a pew is the primer is the bang button, the brass is the metal holding thing, the powder is the magical fire dust, and the projectile is the freedom seed. Okay, Bama Dad, do I look like a small guy? Do I look like a friggin' small guy? Huh? Do I? Do I look like I'm some sort of scrawny piece of that didn't know how to eat? The hoodies go all the way up to 5X. So do the t-shirts. Color options, sport gray as I'm wearing here, military green, and white. So, yeah. And the hoodie comes with the Reloading Podcast logo on the front and the anatomy of a pew on the back. $38 plus shipping. So go ahead and check all that cool stuff out. I have a biscuit and gravy physique. Nice. That's awesome. Because biscuits and gravy is awesome. Sausage gravy. I don't know. Have you guys seen the whole bacon gravy thing?
No, just give me sausage gravy.
Right?
No.
Throw that with a little bit of hot sauce on top.
Right?
Mm.
I mean, bacon's for bacon, not gravy. Damn it.
Now there's a restaurant that's back home in my hometown that has a stuffed biscuits and gravy. They take the biscuit, stuff it with egg and some bacon and stuff like that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it's not sausage. It uses sausage gravy.
But it's still
Which-
sausage gravy on it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
Bacon
sausage-
gravy? Come on. I mean, you
Yeah,
know.
no.
I mean, no.
I don't know who created that, but whoever did needs to be slapped repeatedly.
So
Yeah.
like he's got
Or like that,
gravy with no sausage. That's literally like white gravy for mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Ooh.
So, or like chicken or turkey gravy,
Yeah, that's
or beef gravy. I mean, you can have beef gravy or chicken gravy or turkey gravy for your taters, but and stuffing. But white gravy should have sausage in it. Damn it! Otherwise, I'm going to call it some sort of pasta sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if it doesn't have sausage in it, it's not friggin' breakfast gravy. Damn it! So, anyway, I don't know why Paul Loud brought up that, so I'm not mentioning it because they suck.
hey, they are not in last place, even though I'm not a Bears fan. I almost broke my TV 2 weeks in a row, so don't get me going. No, nobody get me going on that.
I'm waiting to see how much Andy and Patrick are going to get fined after last week.
Yeah, it's gonna get there's something coming down the
because
line.
that's a legitimate penalty. Okay, dudes, freaking
Okay.
close or beyond the ball, that is an offsides. That's a legit penalty. And
There's
they
a
can
gripe
pitch-
from last night, though.
Huh?
Jalen Waddle was offsides just as much 4 times that he didn't get called.
Well, the officiating sucks.
We need consistency. All I want. Yes, he was offsides, but I want
It's, like,
consistency.
it's just like the strike zone in baseball. But
Yes.
unfortunately, you have humans, so human error. But yeah. So, I mean, as far as those two, if you want to complain about the officiating, oh, God, no. Anyway. I might have to drive to Maine. I'm gonna call out a high five. I think I'm gonna have to give Paul Loud a high five to the face with a steel chair. So, hey, Paul. Just got the bird, baby. Yeah. So, but yeah, the other thing that's I'm not gonna even go there because I could. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go on an NFL officiating rant. And those of you who complain about watching the NFL, the beautiful thing about this country is we all have freedom. And
Yep.
if you want to watch the NFL, go ahead. If you don't want to watch the NFL, go ahead. That's the beautiful thing about it. I like my Packers and I like watching the Packers. So, but do I buy merchandise and all that? No. If I'm buying merchandise, but to be fair, the Packers didn't have anybody kneeling either. So,
Yeah, but isn't it a requirement when you move into Wisconsin to become a Packer fan?
I wish, but no.
Mhm.
We have a lot
I
of folks that live here.
I know a lot of Bears fans and a lot of Vikings fan lives in Wisconsin, actually.
Yeah.
Well, if you're closer to to the west end of Wisconsin, I can see being a Vikings fan, but
Yeah.
a Bears fan, no.
They're actually winning football games. That's all I can give them credit.
Hey,
But
I was happy about them on Sunday.
Yeah, I
I
think we're
rooted
all
for
happy.
Sunday.
Hey, they still the first number 1 overall pick at current moment.
Yeah, go Carolina.
Except they're just gonna fail.
Okay, so for people who don't know, the Bears and Carolina did a trade because Carolina traded up to get their quarterback. The Bears had the pick, they traded, and so, Bama Dad, you're in the wrong decade. The Cowboys and Steelers were in the 70s.
Yeah, that was 7. Well, late
Cowboys kind of late
60s.
60s,
Yeah.
but it was still the Packers. So, anyway, but so the Bears have Carolina's first pick next in the 2024 draft. So apparently the Bears have the number 1 pick.
Mhm.
So in 4 weeks, when the season ends, everybody's going to be able to say the Bears are on the clock.
Again.
Again, it's just like when the Bulls picked Jordan instead of the other guy that
Yeah.
got picked ahead of him. Okay, they were all set to pay big money for that other guy, and
I think that worked out pretty well for the Bulls.
yeah, it did, but it was like this other guy,
Chicago went nuts.
oh yeah, we were just no way, and well, the guy that went number 1 was a nobody in a year and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, nobody remembers that guy's name.
Yeah,
Like, I don't even know who his name was. I don't even know who it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And not important. So
but that's Chicago is always fearful of being the first pick.
yeah.
It-
So the two things that I see that the Bears need to do is they need to fire whoever that schmuck is that's the coach.
Need to
'Cause-
fire their owner too.
well, you can't fire that.
Well, I'm hearing a rumor they're not even going to build at the racetrack anymore.
No,
They're going to build a new spot downtown. It's like, what the heck? Why'd you even buy it?
Oh, they'll be able to sell that land.
Yeah.
oh, that land is worth big money.
Oh yeah, they'll be able to sell that land and make their money on it. But see, the the thing is, Chicago didn't want to lose him.
Yeah.
So Chicago has been working and trying, especially with the new mayor. They've been trying to find a place to put him downtown somewhere because
He's
they
an
don't want to
idiot.
lose the Bears. That that they've seen what's happened to other cities when the team moves out and all the revenue that's lost, and they're not stupid. They know how much downtown makes off of Bears games,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and that's just the Bears games. So
Yeah, considering you go down, State Street nowadays on a Sunday, which during the Christmas time, okay, and you can shoot a cannon down it at noon, all right, and not hit anybody.
yep,
So
it's not quite as eerie as Green Bay though on a Sunday home game. If you're talking, and it's still a lot like this, but not completely because it's gotten a lot bigger. But I can remember going through Green Bay on a Sunday back in the Favre days, and you're talking a city of 48,000 people at the time, 50,000 people, and there's like literally nobody out anywhere.
yeah, because either you're at the bar or at the game.
Right.
But in Chicago, not everybody goes to the game, and State Street is dead.
Yep.
State Street is dead.
Oh yeah.
You know, Magnificent Mile is gone. It ain't magnificent anymore.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
It ain't worth going down in town anymore. Even the restaurants that I used to go down to.
Even Navy Pier.
Oh, you don't even want to go to them anymore.
Nope. Not unless you're strapped.
Which you can't. Half the time you can't carry there because there's such a limited list of what you can carry anymore in Illinois.
Oh yeah. So, but anyway, so what the Bears need to do is fire that schmuck that's pretending to be a coach and get some offensive linemen so Fields actually has a chance to stand back there and look for receivers.
Yeah.
The receivers he's got are usable currently. They need to fix the offensive line. See, I am a lifelong Packers fan and I have a deep-seated hatred for the Bears. But at the same time, I understand that life is better if the Bears are good. Because the rivalry is better.
At least they have receivers that can catch.
Yeah.
We don't. We have receivers that can't catch. We only have Travis Kelce. We only have a tight end and maybe one receiver. But
And what's his name out of the back?
no, we got Rashee Rice. He's getting better. He's been doing good. But the MVS can't catch. I don't know why.
Why do you think he's not with Green Bay anymore?
I can see why. You have Tony, who has his moments, but then he plays dummy and does stupid stuff.
Yeah. Or drops balls that are wide open and should have caught.
Yeah. And then Sky Moore, who literally stops in the middle of his route. It's like,
Oh,
what are
I'm
we doing?
surprised Tony didn't drop that lateral, honestly.
Wouldn't have shocked us.
Nope.
We're used to it this year. It's
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the sad thing is everybody else in the NFL sucks right now. So
it's one of those years. It's one of those years. We don't know what's going to happen.
I wish the pros would consider our players. Now that's funny. That's valid. Hey, time for a good old joke. Why doesn't Iowa have a professional football team?
Because there's so much corn.
No, because Minnesota would want one too.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
That shuts Viking fans up every single time. If that doesn't, and then if that doesn't, I go, how's that Super Bowl trophy case looking? Anyway. Hey, Paul.
Sir.
Check this out. So these are, I'll preface this by saying these are both 300 Win Mag cases. Okay. That's the preface.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, look at that double radius shoulder in there. Yeah. Somebody doesn't know the difference between a 300 Weatherby and a 300 Winchester. Both W's, though.
So that has a history.
Well, it should.
So we sold what was custom rifle at the shop, and unfortunately, so we have a policy, very strict policy. If it's not stamped on the gun, it doesn't go on the tag.
Right.
So unfortunately, whoever made up the actual little price tag for it was a fucking idiot, and put something on it because they thought that it was a custom Weatherby. But then they also thought it was in 300 Win Mag. Custom Weatherby action in 300 Win Mag. Anyway, it's a Mauser action. And obviously, a 300 Win Mag is not the correct answer. 300 Weatherby would be. Yeah, as soon as he showed me the brass, I'm like, yeah. I said, can I keep this? He goes, sure, I got another one. I said, thank you. So we bought the gun back, obviously. And it was, the only thing I don't know is I don't know what was written on the price tag. So I don't know if the customer thought it was a 300 Win Mag and thought it was a Weatherby or not. I kind of felt bad for the customer a little bit because it was an absolutely gorgeous, abso-freaking-lutely gorgeous stock. Custom wood, gorgeous checkering, the beautiful German oak leaves. Just a beautiful stock. So, but yeah,
He didn't ruin the stock, did he?
No,
the gun's together.
Yeah, but because he thought it was a Weatherby, he wanted a Weatherby, and
it was a Weatherby,
but the action isn't. So the action, it's a Mauser with the modified safety instead of the safety being on the back of the bolt. They moved the safety over to the 3 selector.
Yeah, so it's got a Winchester. It's got an Obermeyer Winchester safety on it. Yeah.
Yep.
There's not bad with that. That's good.
No. But so anyway,
so he wanted a 300 Win Mag, not a 300 Weatherby, is what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yep. So anyway, so we wound up buying the gun back. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but obviously it's not going to get trashed or anything. So probably just turn around and sell it to somebody. But the thing is the point of the whole entire conversation here is, kids,
mark your guns.
Be careful what you buy, and make sure you double check things. If it's not stamped on the barrel, don't assume. Nick knows that from buying Milsurp stuff.
I know that from, you got a lot of barrel makers never mark their shit,
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
In fact, there's a law now that they're required to mark them.
Yeah.
But in the old days, there wasn't.
Nope. Yeah, barrels have to be stamped with the cartridge now.
Yep.
So, not the caliber, the cartridge. There's a difference. Caliber would be 7.62 or 30 cal. Cartridge would be 300 Win Mag, 300 Weatherby, 308, 762 by 39, 762 by 51, 762 by 54R, that type of thing. So, but yeah, it definitely has to be stamped with cartridge. So, but if you go into a gun store, especially like a Cabela's or Bass Pro, and on the tags it says none, 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 because it literally, for the manufacturer it listed none, for the cartridge it listed none. That type of thing, because it's not stamped on the steel. If it's not on the steel, it shouldn't be on the tag. So if we can put we can put what the customer told us occasionally on the price tag, and that's may what have happened is the customer had said what it was. Person who made the tag didn't necessarily know what it was, et cetera, or didn't think it was a Mauser action because the safety wasn't on the end of the bolt and didn't know any better. So but
the only reason why it went off though was because it was a Mauser action.
Right.
It wouldn't have gone off if it was a push feed.
No, it wouldn't have, because it wouldn't have. It wouldn't. Basically, what happened is, because if you look at these two side by side, so Weatherbys theoretically, until you resize them, but factory ammo is off the belt right here. But the nice thing about them is once you actually redo it, then they off the shoulder. This just happened to sit in there, and he got lucky that it was making contact with the firing pin and went off.
Because of the claw extractor on the bolt.
Yep.
On the Mauser.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
That's the only reason, he put it in right. He closed the bolt on it.
Yep.
And it picked up. It got in. It caught the groove. Went forward. Caught enough. It caught enough of the case to hold it straight. Pulled the trigger. Boom. Okay.
because you can definitely tell it slammed it back into the bolt. Let me
Mm-hmm.
show you this. Gracie, you're fine. So rotate mass.
Down. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can tell it slammed into the bolt.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
So normally that would be pressure signs, kids, but this is just because of the fact that it's not headspace properly. So. But yeah, the lettering's a little flatter. The primer's a lot flatter. So, yeah. If you're not sure, take it to a gunsmith or learn how to cast your chamber.
Yep. So that's where Safe comes in handy.
And if you're going to cast your chamber, you also need to slug your bore.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there are sometimes, like, take the 30-06 case.
Like a 270.
Take a 308 case. You know, just those two off the top of my head. Not even counting how many different cartridges are made off a 375.
Well, look how
that's so
many
many.
people ruin rifles with trying to put a 300 blackout in a 223.
Gosh, it's insane the numbers.
Okay.
And if you want to see what that looks like, go to LFD Research. Because Matt and Heinrich decided just for fun to actually do it on purpose with the slow motion cameras.
Yeah.
So if you want to see what happens when you do that, there you go. So that's why they sell those stupid little bands you put on your magazines that say 300 BLK or 223 or 556.
Or the magazine or the mag is a 300 AAC mag, okay?
Yeah, but those are no fun. It's just better to buy the
you get
Besides, it's much more fun to play magazine roulette.
Yeah, well, what I do is I just go out and buy
Spray paint.
electrical tape.
That too. So,
You can get in 5 different colors. So
Yep.
69 grain bullets go in one, 55 grain bullets go in another one, 77s in another, and that's it. I mean, it's
exactly. So, yeah, I mean, definitely learning examples. And by the way, Bama Dad, the only reason you guys sneaked into the freaking championship is because you paid them off.
Nah, Texas is going to beat them. I know Michigan's going to beat them.
Justice for Florida State. Justice for Florida State.
Nah.
Kidding.
No, Michigan will beat them.
I know they will. Which is even funnier because my mom's an Ohio State fan.
Oh.
The sad thing is I hate Jim Harbaugh, so I don't really want him to win either. So,
But don't you hate Bama worse?
yes.
It's
Yes,
like
I do.
I'd rather have Michigan than Bama.
See, I hate Nick Saban and Bama more than I hate Jim Harbaugh and Michigan. So,
Hey, Big Ten. That's all we got to think. Big Ten.
but see, then I want them to lose to Texas, and because. So, who's the fourth team? I don't even remember.
Washington. I want Washington to win it all. I would
That'd
love
be
to see
great.
Washington.
Last
I would
year,
love to see that.
12, they win the championship.
I would
That's
love to
awesome.
see that. Well, the thing about it, they play in Seattle in the rain most of the time.
Right?
They've never had a dry condition game. You get them on a dry field in a dome,
Oh yeah, Texas is done. They're not going to win.
Texas is done.
Yeah.
They're a fast team. They beat Oregon twice.
And so here's the super flashback, because if you look at the last time that both Michigan and Washington had a national title,
oh gosh, it was 90s.
they shared it.
Yeah, 90. That's what I was thinking 3, but I was thinking 3.
92
But
or 94, I don't remember.
yeah, it was
Who
one of
cares?
those years. Before I was born. Put it that way.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen,
Yeah, I think
I
we've
think
done
it's time we
wrap this pick up.
close this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Real quick for the next call-in show. I know it's 2 weeks before SHOT Show, I think.
Yes. So bring your SHOT Show questions.
Exactly. Yeah, get those questions ready for us because we'll try to have both Sharinda, Chris, and my dad for sure. We can make some notes and definitely swing by Boots if we need to and get information that we need to, or shoot at range day when we go to range day. So, and hopefully by then we'll have a lot of the new products coming. We'll know what's coming. So I think the first week of January, we'll start seeing a lot of that stuff hit the market or hit the news feeds.
Hey, Bama Dad. Bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
Anyway, on that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Millstrip short bus.
Grandpa told me don't listen to your mama. He says violence does solve problems.
Especially when you use high explosives.
2A all the way, guys.
Yep. Sports Second Amendment, whether it's local or national, make sure you're doing your due diligence and checking to see who supports what. Speaking of Second Amendment, even though they're not really doing it now, just to remind everybody, I will be at the NRA show. I'm not sure who else is going, but I am because one of the people that sponsored the show and helped out with this, sent a lot of stuff for the show since we started, is going to be there. And we've been trying to meet up for the last few NRA shows. So probably
might
the last
join you.
NRA show I'm going to. So
I might have to join you on that one.
it's in Dallas at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center. So,
Well.
And I'm going to actually try a Whataburger.
You never had Whataburger?
Nope.
Oh, come down and visit. We'll have Whataburger whenever you want. There's like 15 minutes from my house. Phenomenal.
Okay.
It's literally a cult following.
So, yeah, we'll see. They always argue about Whataburger versus
In-N-Out?
In-N-Out. And then anytime they're arguing about that, I always pop in #Culver's for the win.
Culver. Okay, no, I will say Culver's is good.
I mean, Five Guys. So I've had In-N-Out, and Five Guys is not even in the same zip code as
No.
In-N-Out. So
The thing that makes In-N-Out so good is their animal style.
no, I like it just regular. So
Well, the fries you got to get with the fried onions,
yeah,
or the caramelized onions with the sauce and cheese.
Yep.
That's what you do on the fries. That's the only thing. Right now, Whataburger has chili cheese fries, which are phenomenal.
as long as their chili's good.
It's pretty good. It's
So
pretty
is it
good.
meat chili or is it meat and bean chili?
It's just a chili sauce.
But is it got beans in it?
No, it's just meat because they're from Texas, so there's no beans in it.
All right.
But for like chili cheese fries, it's kind of I wouldn't want the beans.
Beans and chili, that don't work.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, for up north, absolutely. That's all we look at for chili is beans. If you're in Texas, it's just meat.
So here's the
I'm
deal.
sorry.
types
I
of
mean,
chili.
I've had beans and chili, and we had Bishop's in Chicago, which was famous for their chili, and didn't like it. Texas chili, yeah, okay.
So there's two types of chili. There's meat chili, which is the type of chili that you use on chili dogs. And then there's the chili you eat, which has the beans in it.
Yeah, no.
Then you have Skyline chili, which is just nasty. Ugh.
What is that anyway?
I don't know. I don't even know what it
It's like
is.
a modified spaghetti sauce because that's the way they sell that is
Yeah.
put it on spaghetti. Well, then it's not chili; it's a spaghetti sauce.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
You know,
Hi, Gracie. You doing okay over there, Gracie? Calm down. We're almost done. We got bull crapping about food. All right, so calm down. All right, gang. So if you're struggling, 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from your cellular device. Make sure you reach out, get some help. Mental health is serious business, gang. And Raggle Fraggle, the beautiful thing about food is you can have your own opinions and you can eat what you want. So I know people who actually don't consider it chili unless you put macaroni in it, which is or corn or and it can't be black beans. It's got to be red beans. Okay, so we'll settle that. No black beans, and then it's not chili. Anyway, but yeah, the chili, the beans versus no beans is a
It's a
bar fight.
regional. It's a regional thing, really.
It really is. So, but if you put macaroni in, it's either chili mac or goulash, one of the two, depending on what you season it with. So, anyway, as I was saying, mental health is serious business. If you are distraught over the chili argument and you can't handle it, 88 or 1-800-273-8255. I couldn't resist. And Nick had the meats tonight.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you got that freaking burger.
Oh hell no! I'm not paying $10 for a meal.
Oh,
That burger's nasty. I don't know about the new one, but when they had the Wagyu beef burgers, those were awful.
Same thing. They just added what's the sauce he made in the
I don't know.
good burger sauce or whatever.
Burger. How can I take your order? Anyway. So. All right, gang. Seriously, though, if you are struggling, reach out. There's lots of different help out there. Take care. Good night.